This week's Torah portion is actually a double portion, meaning we read two Torah portions together, Achrei Mot and Kedoshim. Achrei Mot, meaning after the death of, refers to the loss of Nadav and Avihu, who are Aaron's sons, followed by Kedoshim, meaning holiness, Kadosh. And this Torah portion we often read on Yom Kippur. And in Leviticus 19:2, in Parashat Kedoshim, we read, דבר אל כל עדת בני ישראל, ואמרת אליהם, קדושים תהיו, כי קדוש אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Speak to the whole Israelite community and say to them, you shall be holy, for I, your God, am holy. Judaism is a monotheistic religion where God is put on high, figuratively and literally. And God is not like us, yet we're commanded to be like God. And how are we supposed to understand that idea? What does that actually mean for us? This Torah portion features a part of the Holiness Code. The Holiness Code is a collection of ritualistic, moral, and festival regulations that are named in chapters 17 to 26 of Leviticus. And they feature some of our favorites. Honor your mother and father, your parents. Keep Shabbat. Do not turn to idols or make molten God for yourselves. Let's delve into just one of these for just a moment. When our Torah tells us to honor our father, our mother, our parent, what does that actually look like? Are we supposed to do everything our parents say? Because we all do that. And young people, for those of you who remain, listen up. I'm giving you good material. Perhaps it means the exact opposite. Perhaps it means that you're supposed to challenge your parents at every turn so that they too may have a chance to grow and do their own learning. You're welcome. Maybe honoring our parents means getting to know them well and taking the best part of them and adopting their best qualities. This commandment stretches even further. We can also understand it to mean that we have to honor those who are more experienced than us, not just our biological parents. We're invited to consider how we honor our elders, our mentors, those who we hold in high esteem, and then ask ourselves, what is our role as the learner, the mentee, or the child in the relationship? And there's just so much to think about and to unpack just in this one notion of honoring our parents and figuring out what that means and how committed we want to be to each one of these obligations is part of learning how to honor our parents so we can comprehensively fulfill our duty as children. So to be holy is actually a spectrum that is limitless and has limitless possibilities in understanding what is required of us and how to achieve those obligations. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, a favorite of Rabbi Klein and myself, he points out that our commandments aren't just interested in the notion of reductivism and positivism, meaning abiding by Jewish law for the sake of performing the law, but understanding that our roles go far beyond that. Rabbi Sachs clearly illustrates that our medieval commentators support, which is that Jewish law is not self-contained, a self-sufficient system with no underlying logic other than the obedience of the Word of God. Maimonides and Nachmanides, two important medieval commentators, hold that there are matters of great religious significance which lie beyond the notion of exclusively keeping the legislation. There's a certain creativity attached that cannot be articulated in precise rules. You can keep the laws of kashrut and still eat really unhealthy. You can be a strict observer of law and still be rude. There's an understanding that observing Jewish law means going beyond reading the words on the page or the parchment. So when we read about being holy and aspiring to be godlike, It means that we're supposed to put our entire selves into the process in order to comprehend what is written beyond the page. And this is why our Torah contains narrative in addition to the halakha, the law itself. The narrative is the human part of understanding our text, relating to people who are imperfect and enriching our lives through their journey. Practicing Judaism contains ingenuity and a certain imagination. And can we honestly say that we are always jumping in to make this kind of investment? Sarah Zach is an upcoming bat mitzvah at our temple. And she has a Torah portion that deals with farmers giving 10% of their land to feed those who are in need. And as we sat to discuss her passage, she asked for further clarity. She asked me, so for those who are in need and come to collect food out of necessity, do the farmers provide tools for those individuals? This 13-year-old predicted a potential obstacle in fulfilling the mitzvah of helping others. And if these people were collecting food for themselves, we can probably safely assume they don't have the tools necessary to harvest the crops. Her question wasn't just good as a bat mitzvah. Her question illustrates what it means to be a holy Jew. A basic reading and comprehension of our laws and where they derive from is just the first step. It's an important step, but it is just the first step. And it's through real grappling that we can really internalize the essence of tradition in our day. It's about radiating a presence that is beyond ourselves. It's not so simple to define what makes people holy, but the exploration is really important. The first step to being holy is to take the time to figure out what being holy actually looks like, and to have the courage and to set aside the intentional time and figure out what it means to all of us. It goes beyond not just flicking someone off on the road or stealing a piece of candy because no one saw you. It's nuanced, it's complex, and the ingenuity that is necessary to make ourselves holy requires proper time and space. Moreover, when we figure out how to answer some of these questions for ourselves, we're simultaneously thinking about the legacy we leave for the generations to come. What do we want to be remembered for? And when reflecting on our lives, what do we hope we can say for ourselves in the future? I hope that we can journey together and think about holiness for ourselves as individuals and our community, and continue to create that sacred time and space to ponder this all together. Nachmanides says it about Parashat Kedoshim, holiness is not just what we do, but what kind of person we become. Shabbat Shalom.